Hi, I'm Mike Roble from DadCooksDinner.com, and this is Instant Pot Chicken Broth. Homemade broth is quick and easy in a pressure cooker. It's so much better than store-bought. Once you've made your own broth, you'll never go back to the sad cardboard packages at the grocery store. I'm making this broth with 3 pounds of chicken backs. Chicken backs have lots of bones, skin, cartilage, and meat, so they're perfect for making broth. If you can't find backs at your grocery store, chicken wings are a good substitute, but they're a little more expensive. The chicken backs go in the pot, followed by an onion, a carrot that I scrubbed or peeled to get rid of any dirt, a stalk of celery, a couple of bay leaves, some peppercorns, and a teaspoon of fine sea salt. These ingredients add flavor to the broth. Most of them are optional. If you don't have them, you don't have to use them. The only one I consider essential is the onion. Add 8 cups of water to the pot. I like the flavor from this ratio of stuff to water, but if you want more broth, fill the pot all the way to the max fill line for your pressure cooker. It'll be a little thinner broth, but it'll still taste great, and you'll get a little more out of the recipe. I add just a little bit of salt. I want to season when I'm using this broth in a recipe, not now. Everything's in the pot, so lock the lid and pressure cook for 1 hour. Then let the pressure come down with a natural pressure release. There's a lot of hot liquid in this pot, so expect at least a half an hour for the pressure to come down. Now, if you're in a big hurry, you can quick release the pressure, but the longer you let it go, the more flavor will be in the broth. There's a lot of flavor molecules in the steam, and if they have time to condense back into the broth, they stay with your broth and don't escape into the air. The broth is ready. These solids have given their all to the broth. There isn't much flavor left in them. I will occasionally pick at some of the chicken as a chef's treat, but it's not worth using this chicken in another recipe. It's given up too much of its flavor. Strain the broth through a fine mesh strainer into another large pot. I use one of the other Instant Pot liners I have lying around because it's the perfect size. If you want to be finicky about your broth, line the fine mesh strainer with cheesecloth to filter out some more of the impurities. That's what they do in restaurant kitchens, but I don't bother. I'm willing to live with cloudy broth. Now, to help the broth cool down, I separate it into my storage containers. I use canning jars because I like having 2-cup portions for other recipes. Once the broth is all portioned out, I let it rest on the counter for an hour to cool down, cap it, and put it in the refrigerator for a couple of days or freeze it for up to 6 months. I love having some frozen assets in my freezer. So there you have it, instant gold from your Instant Pot. This has been Mike Roble from Dad Cooks Dinner. Thanks for watching.
Outfit check.
Oh, you know what? We'll just...
Yo.
Why am I making this complicated? Swap lenses.
Dad check.